So today we're talking about luxury Frisco, Texas. Not just the basic version that everybody sees online, because when most people hear luxury in Frisco, they think big houses, expensive kitchens, pretty finishes, maybe a 3-car garage, and that's it. But Frisco luxury has changed so much over the last several years, and honestly, it's still changing right now in real time. You have older, established neighborhoods that feel private and mature and tucked away. You have newer luxury communities that feel more polished, modern, amenity-driven, and really turnkey. You have smaller luxury pockets that a lot of people moving here have never even heard of. And then you have these major growth corridors where you can literally feel Frisco shifting from a really nice suburb into a true destination city. So today I want to take you through a luxury Frisco update. We're going to talk about how these neighborhoods actually feel in person, what type of buyer they fit, what the trade-offs are, and how Frisco luxury is evolving as the city continues to grow. Because here's the thing, luxury is not just price. Luxury is not just square footage. It's not just a builder name. Luxury is how the neighborhood feels when you pull into it. It's how private the street feels, how much separation you have from your neighbor. It's whether the trees are mature or are they brand new. It's whether you want a social, amenity-heavy community or something quieter and maybe more tucked away. It's whether you want to be 5 minutes from everything or you would rather drive a little bit further and get more land. And if you're moving here from California, New York, Chicago, Florida, or anywhere out of state, this is where people get surprised. A lot of buyers think they know what they want before they get here. They send me all the pretty homes. They send me the Zillow links. But once we actually drive the areas, the decision usually changes because the neighborhood that looks best online is not always the neighborhood that feels best in real life. I can't explain this enough. Before we get into the neighborhoods, let's talk about why luxury Frisco is exploding the way that it is. Frisco's been growing for years, but what we're seeing now is different. Frisco is no longer just a suburb people move to because it's a good schools or newer homes. This is still part of it, of course, but Frisco has become a true destination. And when a city becomes a destination, luxury demand simply changes. You have executive relocation, you have corporate presence, you have buyers moving here from higher cost states who are used to paying premium prices. You have families who want top tier schools, newer homes, safety, sports, restaurants, shopping, and convenience all wrapped into one lifestyle. And Frisco checks a lot of those boxes. You have the Star, which brought in that sports and entertainment energy. You have the PGA Frisco, which completely changed the luxury conversation at the north side of Frisco. You have Universal Kids Resort coming, which is going to bring even more attention to the area. You have Fields and Fields West, which are probably some of the biggest long-term anchors for Frisco's future. And you have the proximity to Legacy West, which is still one of the strongest lifestyle and corporate hubs in all of North Texas. So Frisco sits in this really interesting position. It's not as far north as Salina, not as estate heavy as parts of Prosper, not as old money as Southlake, and certainly not as urban as Dallas. It's kind of its own thing. Frisco gives buyers the combination of newer homes, stronger schools, restaurants, shopping, sports, convenience, and that really long-term growth plan. And that combination is really hard to replicate. And that's why luxury buyers are willing to pay a little more to live here. Now let's talk about established luxury, because this is one of the parts of Frisco that people overlook when they are searching online. When you drive into an established luxury neighborhood, you feel it immediately. The trees are bigger, the streets feel calmer, the homes have more variation, the lots often feel more generous, the landscaping has had time to grow in, and there's usually this feeling of privacy that you just don't always get in that brand new community. There's such a peacefulness there. That does not mean newer communities are bad, not at all. I live in one, but they feel different. If you are the type of buyer who values those mature trees, the character, and a little bit more breathing room, then established luxury neighborhoods in Frisco could be very appealing to you. This is where you start to understand that luxury is also emotional. It is not just the finishes inside the home. It's not just the way the neighborhood makes you feel. It's the way the neighborhood makes you feel before you ever walk through the front doors of that house. Okay, so I wanted to bring you guys to Starwood. It's one of the most exclusive gated guarded communities in Frisco, but I wanted you guys to see what it actually looks like, because I can talk to you all day long about all the new development in Frisco. The new development doesn't have all of these huge trees and the grown-up trees and the foliage that's mature and beautiful and canopies with trees over the streets. And I just wanted to show you the difference in the beauty, because if you go to where I live, which is Brookside South in the fields, our trees are tiny, and that's totally fine. A lot of people want that new construction. But if you're wanting this type of look where it's mature and it's private and it's exclusive, then Starwood is a really great choice for y'all. And I'm going to show you several neighborhoods today. It's just beautiful. And this is different than Stonebriar Country Club, because Starwood is definitely exclusive and private, but it's not sitting on a golf course. Stonebriar does. We're not going to Stonebriar today because I've shown that in some other videos that you guys can take a look at. I did want to show you all this. So it doesn't have that country club feel, but there are really great amenities. They have a really great amenity center. There's only a couple of ways in and out of the neighborhood. And it's very, like when I came in, they checked my ID, they take a picture of it. They called to make sure that it was okay for me to come in. So if you're kind of wanting that privacy and this type of beauty, then Starwood should be on your list to look at in Frisco. It is a little dated. It is an older community, but that doesn't mean that you won't love the house that you find. And it also doesn't mean that you can't renovate and bring it up to current design, and then you would have even more equity in your home, because the ones that are renovated sell much faster than the ones that are not. So I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit about Starwood. Okay, so now we're in the hills of Kingswood. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods. I'm going to drive you around. You're going to notice the trees aren't as big as, say, Starwood, because it's so much newer, but the view in and of itself, it's called the Hills of Kingswood because it sits on a hill in Frisco, and you can literally see miles across Frisco, across all the different cities that surround us. There's so many lots still left. You are looking at over $1 million for the lots at these points. But I wanted you guys to kind of see the types of houses that are being built in here. There's a more expensive side where you're going to get larger lots, anywhere from half an acre up. And then there's a less expensive side where the homes are much closer together and not as extravagant or elaborate. Those are going to be closer to $1 million or a little bit under. I will say, get with me if you want to be in the hills of Kingswood, because there is a power line that runs through the neighborhood, and you'll need to know where to buy and where not to buy. And of course, I'm the expert on that. So you'll reach out to me, text me. I mean, just look at all the glass in front of these houses. And obviously they're custom built, so you don't have to have all the glass if you want to be more private, but it's kind of, it's really popular right now. And now we're into one of the areas where they're still currently building. And obviously I'm showing you guys already built houses as well, but just looking at all the opportunities here. And I just had a client buy a lot in here, and they're gonna build. There's I think 10 builders on the list you can choose from. They're all amazing. Some of them are even building in the preserve, but just know that you can still 100% build a custom house, anything that you want. And all the builders in here can build any style. So I can help you interview those builders and walk you through the whole process. So I just kind of wanted to give you a picture of the hills of Kingswood. Okay, so now we're in Newman Village, and I know I've done videos on Newman, and I wanted to show you guys. This is gated and guarded. It's unbelievable. It's across the street from what the new Fields West is going to be. And so getting into Newman Village right now and letting Fields West build up around you will only increase your property value. And so if you want the adult trees and the beauty and the eclecticness, because Newman Village is so eclectic because none of the houses look the same, you probably can't get into Newman Village under 1.2, and it goes all the way up to 8, 10 million. So, and everything in between. but I wanted to show you guys just the maturity of the neighborhood because it's one of my favorite subdivisions inside of Frisco. Obviously, I'm partial to Fields because that's where I live, and Brookside South and Brookside North and the Preserve. Once the Preserve is done, it's going to make Newman Village, it's going to blow it out of the water. But right now, Newman Village is amazing, and I just wanted y'all to see how beautiful it is, because it is. And so if you're interested in Newman Village, let me know, because I can tell you there's also off markets in here, and I can get you in front of those as well. So text me. Okay, so now we're here in Brookside South in the Fields, which is where I live. And I wanted y'all to see the difference in the trees coming from Starwood and Newman Village, Hills of Kingswood. And while it is stunning and beautiful, and they did a great job on mapping the neighborhood out, you're just gonna get smaller trees and smaller landscaping. So you just have to decide what is worth it to you. Are you okay with the smaller everything to get new construction and be in the epicenter of the equity boom that Frisco's going to see once Fields West is up? I can't imagine what all this is going to look like in 5 to 7 years, in just the tree growth and how beautiful it's going to be. You just have to wait for it. So I felt like the equity buying in here, I bought in here 2 years ago, is going to far outweigh the smaller trees. So if you're wanting that equity and you're wanting to live in the Fields, there's no other agent that has sold more houses in here than me and that knows more about it than I do. So text me all of your questions and I'll get you answered. All right, thanks. A lot of relocation buyers do not realize how much trees matter until they get here. They'll say they want a newer home, which I totally understand. But then we drive through an established neighborhood with big trees, wider feeling streets, privacy, and more architectural variety. And suddenly they're like, wait a second, this feels really good. And that's the part you can't see on Zillow. You cannot feel shade from a listing photo. You can't feel how quiet the street is. You cannot feel how far the homes are set back from the street. You can't feel whether the neighborhood feels private or exposed. You can't feel the peacefulness. You have to drive it. You have to be in it. The trade-off with established luxury is that the homes may not always have the newest layouts. You may not get the giant open kitchen in every home. You may not get the huge sliding glass modern doors. You may not get the huge sliding glass doors on the patio. You may not get the modern light oak floors, the dramatic ceiling treatments, or the indoor-outdoor living that newer luxury buyers love. Some homes may need updates. Some may have finishes from 10, 15, 20 years ago, so the decision becomes very personal. Would you rather have the mature lot, the privacy, and the established feel, even if you knew you had to update the home over time? Or would you rather have the newer finishes, the modern layouts, and that turnkey lifestyle, even if the lot's a little tighter? There's just not one right answer. I have clients who will never give up mature trees. They want shade and privacy and character. And then I have other clients who walk into an older luxury home and immediately say, nope, I do not want a project. I do not want a fixer-upper. I want everything done and move-in ready. Both buyers are right. They just need different neighborhoods. Now let's shift into newer luxury Frisco, because this is where a lot of relocation buyers get really excited. And I get it. Newer luxury homes in Frisco can be stunning. You are talking about big open kitchens, dramatic islands, high ceilings, modern elevations, that indoor-outdoor living, the huge sliders, designer lighting, beautiful primary suites, spa-like bathrooms, oversized closets, and so much more. This is the type of product that photographs really well online. And for buyers moving out of state, it can feel like a dream. They are looking at what they can get here compared to what they were used to paying somewhere else, and they're thinking, wait, I can have all of this? It's a very powerful emotional pull. Newer luxury has a lot of real advantages. It feels easier. A lot of buyers today don't want to remodel. They do not want to spend the first 2 years dealing with contractors. They do not want to replace floors, redo kitchens, update bathrooms, change lighting, paint cabinets, and figure out what to do with an older layout. They want to move in and live their life. And that is why newer luxury is so appealing to them. It feels clean, it feels fresh, it feels lower maintenance. It feels like you can bring your furniture, unpack, and start your new life. But here's where I need to be very honest. This is also where some buyers get surprised because the home may be incredible, but the lot may feel tighter than expected. And that's not just a Frisco issue. That's happening a lot in high demand areas. Land is expensive. Builders are trying to create luxury product in areas where demand is high, and so that land is going to be limited. So what happens? You get beautiful homes, amazing finishes, great floor plans, strong locations, but sometimes less yard and less spacing than people imagined when they heard Texas luxury. Because of course the saying is everything's bigger in Texas. A lot of people moving here think Texas automatically means huge lots. And yes, you can absolutely get more land in Texas. But if you want luxury in Frisco, close to everything, in a newer community with strong schools and convenience, you may not get the same lot size you would if you went further north. And it's a trade-off. You are paying for location. You are paying for convenience. You're paying for schools. You're paying for that lifestyle. You're paying for the proximity to the growth. And sometimes that means your yard is not going to be massive. This is why I always tell buyers not to just ask about square footage. Ask about lot size. Ask about the setbacks. Ask how close the homes feel. Ask how the street feels. Ask what is behind the house and if the outdoor living space actually works for the way you live. Because two homes can both be luxury homes, but one can feel private and one can feel very close to your neighbors. Now let's talk about the lifestyle side of Frisco, because this is one of the biggest reasons people are willing to pay more here. Frisco's easy, and I do not mean perfect, but I mean daily life is easier here than it is in a lot of other luxury areas. You have restaurants everywhere. You have shopping, you have gyms, grocery stores, kids activities, sports and entertainment, and major employers all relatively close. And when you are living your actual life and not just looking at pretty houses online, that matters. Convenience is luxury. Being able to leave your house and get to a great dinner quickly is luxury. Being near your kids' activities is luxury. Being close to shopping and services is also luxury. Not spending your entire Saturday driving 40 minutes each way for everything that you need. And this is where Frisco has a major advantage. When people compare Frisco to Prosper or Salina, this is usually one of the biggest decision points. Prosper and Salina can offer more space, absolutely. Newer growth, bigger lots in some areas, and a little more breathing room depending on where you're looking. But Frisco still has more build-out convenience. It's more established in terms of restaurants, shopping, entertainment, and that daily life infrastructure. That does not mean Frisco's better. It means Frisco is different. And for some buyers, that convenience is worth paying for. It was for me. Now let's talk about the trade-offs, because I'm not going to pretend Frisco is perfect just because it is popular. Frisco is amazing, but Frisco is not hidden anymore. Luxury here is no longer a secret. The growth is super obvious. The demand is obvious. The pricing reflects that. And buyers moving here need to understand what they are walking into. The first trade-off is density. Frisco is not going to feel as wide open as some of the areas further north will feel. There are definitely pockets that feel more private and established, but overall, Frisco's a high demand city with a lot going on. Some sections feel tighter than buyers expect. Some newer communities have beautiful homes, but not huge lots. And if your idea of Texas luxury is a huge property with total privacy and no one near you, Frisco may or may not be the best fit for you. The second trade-off is traffic. Frisco traffic is not like Dallas traffic, so don't come at me, Dallas. You know it's different, but it is real, especially around peak corridors, school times, sports events, major shopping areas, and definitely those growth zones. As Frisco keeps growing, traffic patterns are definitely changing. You cannot just look at it on a map and say, oh, that's only 6 miles. 6 miles in a high growth corridor may feel very different than 6 miles in a quieter area. The third trade-off is pricing. Frisco's expensive, and in luxury areas, price per square foot can definitely move quickly. You're often paying a premium for the city and the school zone, the location, and that convenience, and that long-term growth story, that equity that we're all waiting on. So if someone tells me, I want Frisco luxury, but I also want a huge lot, newer construction, mature trees, privacy, top-tier finishes, and a deal, I'm gonna lovingly say, okay, we need to prioritize, because in Frisco, getting everything is really hard to do. And the fourth trade-off is construction fatigue. Frisco's constantly evolving. We have a lot of construction, and that's part of the upside, but it can also be exhausting. There are areas where you're gonna see roads being improved, commercial developments going in, new neighborhoods being built, and infrastructure trying to keep up with that. Although they've planned really well for it, for some buyers that's exciting. They see that long-term vision, but other buyers hate it. They want calm and they want it now. They do not want to hear trucks. They do not want to look at dirt. They want everything finished. So if you want a slower pace, you may need to be very intentional about where you look. You may want a tucked away luxury pocket. You may want a more established neighborhood. You may want Prosper or Salina. Or you may want a part of Frisco that gives you access to the city without being right in the middle of the busiest corridor. Now let's talk about hidden and overlooked luxury pockets, because some of the best neighborhoods in Frisco are not necessarily the loudest ones online. They're not always the ones that show up in every relocation video. They are not always the huge master plan communities with the biggest marketing budgets. Sometimes they're smaller, sometimes they're tucked away, and sometimes they're older. And a lot of buyers end up preferring them once they actually drive them. It happens all the time. A buyer will come in thinking they want the neighborhood they saw online, and then we drive a quieter pocket and they're like, wait, what is this? Because it feels more private, it feels less obvious, it feels less crowded. And that can be very appealing, especially for luxury buyers who do not necessarily want the biggest, loudest community. Not everyone wants to live in a mega master planned community. Some people do, and there are great reasons to choose that. You get amenities, you get that consistent community energy and newer infrastructure, but some buyers want something more subtle. They want a neighborhood that feels high-end without feeling like it's always being talked about. They want the privacy, they want the fewer homes, the bigger lots, the less traffic. They just want a calmer street. I like calm streets. And that's where some of these overlooked luxury pockets become really interesting, because online searches tend to reward what is obvious, the newest listing, the biggest community. But the best fit for you may be a neighborhood that doesn't scream for attention online. Now, who is Frisco Luxury actually best for? Frisco Luxury is a great fit for relocators who want an easier landing. If you are moving from out of state and you want strong schools, newer homes, restaurants, shopping, sports, entertainment, and all of that daily life convenience, Frisco's really hard to ignore. It's also a great fit for executives who need access to major employment areas, Legacy West, Plano, Dallas airports, corporate campuses, high-end amenities, and of course that ever-evolving Fields West. It's a great fit for buyers who want newer luxury, modern floor plans, big kitchens, indoor-outdoor living spaces. It's also great for people who care about resale. Frisco has a strong brand, and the equity is going to amaze a lot of people in the next 5 years. People know it. Relocator buyers ask for it by name. That does not mean every home is automatically a great investment, but the city itself has a strong demand. Now, who may not be the best fit for Frisco Luxury? If you want large acreage, Frisco may not be your first stop. If you want a slower pace, then Frisco may feel too active for you. If you want maximum privacy, you need to be very selective. If you hate that construction and growth, then certain parts of Frisco could really literally drive you crazy. If mature landscaping is your #1 priority, you may prefer established pockets or even other cities depending on the budget and the preference. And if you want the biggest possible home and lot for the money, Frisco may not give you as much value as further north cities. And that's okay. Frisco is not supposed to be everything to everyone. No city's gonna be. Luxury is personal. The right neighborhood depends on how you actually live, not how you think you're supposed to live, not what looks best online, and not what everyone else says is the hottest area. So here's the big takeaway from today. Frisco Luxury is not one thing anymore. It's not just giant houses. It's not just new construction. It's not just golfing, shopping, schools, or future development. It is all of those things, but in very different combinations depending on where you are in your life. You have established luxury pockets that feel mature, private, and timeless. You have newer luxury areas that feel modern, polished, and turnkey. You have hidden neighborhoods that people overlook until they drive them. You have growth corridors that are changing fast, and major upside. You have areas that feel convenient. You have areas that feel more tucked away, and the right answer depends on you. That is why I always say, please do not choose your Frisco neighborhood from a spreadsheet. Do not choose it from Zillow. Do not choose it because someone else online says it's the best. You need to drive it. You need to feel it. You need to understand the trade-offs. You need to compare it to your actual lifestyle, because the luxury neighborhoods people end up happiest in are usually not the ones they expected before they got here. They're the ones that actually matched how they live, and that's a big difference. So if you're comparing luxury neighborhoods in Frisco, Prosper, Salina, Plano, McKinney, Southlake, or anywhere in North Dallas, reach out to me. Call me, text me. I'm always available. Send me the neighborhoods you're looking at. Send me the homes you're considering. I can help you narrow down what actually makes sense based on your budget, your lifestyle, your commute, your schools, your privacy needs, and what you really want this next chapter to feel like, because there are a lot of beautiful homes out there. But the goal is not just to buy a beautiful home, the goal is to buy the right life. And if you want more luxury driving tours like this, comment below and tell me which Frisco neighborhoods or North Dallas luxury areas you want me to tour next. Do you want more established luxury, more new construction, more hidden pockets, more gated communities? You let me know. Drop it in the comments, because I'm gonna keep doing these and touring and showing you the real versions of what it's like to live here. And as always, if you're thinking about moving to North Dallas, relocating to Frisco, or trying to figure out which luxury community actually fits your life, I would love to help. I will see you on the next video.